Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I am Crystal Hinkle. I'm the sales manager here at Syncro. Super happy to have GMS Live Expert on the line with us today, and I will let them take over and introduce themselves.
Hey, Crystal, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Randy Gould. I am the Director of Business Development here at GMS Live Expert. And I have along with me, Danny Obasaki, who is our VP of Sales at GMS. Hey, Danny, how you doing?
Doing very well, Randy. Pleasure to be here and look forward to having a pretty informative session.
Absolutely. All right, Crystal, well, we'll give it over to you and let you do your thing, and we'll speak shortly.
Awesome. Okay. Well, yes, we're super happy to have GMS Live Expert on with us today. This has been, I would say, like a pretty long awaited integration. So we're super excited to kind of talk more about that, what that means, what that looks like for your MSP. You know, the goal here is really how can we enable you to do your best work and grow your business without, maybe taken away from family time or hobbies, things you like to do. So the combination of our two teams and this integration really allows you to do that. So what we're going to do today is kind of to start, just kind of giving you the structure of what we'll cover today. So, we've got a lot of folks that have joined. So thank you for spending some time with us. And so for the first little bit, for those of you that don't know what Syncro is, I'm going to kind of talk through that just a bit. And then after that, I'm going to hand it over to GMS to talk about, what they're doing and how it can help you and your MSP business. And so to start, just wanting to kind of high level talk to you about, if you've never seen Syncro or maybe even heard of Syncro, just wanted to kind of talk through, hey, who we are, what we do. So Syncro, we are a fully combined RMM and PSA platform. And I know that's kind of a funny thing because you hear that a ton, a lot of other, there's RMMs and PSAs, there's a lot of them. So what I like to do is kind of just talk through that Syncro, when we say combined, we're not an integrated RMM and PSA solution. We were built together. It was built together from the ground up. So what I'd like to do now is actually, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hop out of this. Randy, can you just confirm, are you still seeing my screen? Are you seeing my Syncro instance here?
Yeah, we can see it.
I'm seeing we can see it.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to jump over into kind of a live demo format at this point. Just wanting to kind of just show you the platform, show you what's possible, show you how you can kind of streamline your RMS or your MSP. So first, I'm just going to hop over into a customer here in Syncro. There's just a few things I'd like to show. I'm not going to go full demo. Like I said, there's so many things you can do within Syncro that I want to just kind of go very high level. I will say with Syncro, we do have a full team that we're totally happy to hop on one-on-one calls and go into all of the intricacies, all of the possibilities within Syncro. So just letting you know that's totally available. So what I'm wanting to show you is that you do have in Syncro the ability to manage all of your customers. So not only are you keeping track of your customers, you can have custom fields and things like that. As I kind of go through this, and I'm not gonna spend a ton of time, but as we can, kind of go through just a little bit of a demo format, it's important for me to just highlight, like I said, in a customer record, you've got your tickets available. You can see that you have full estimates and invoices. So from a PSA standpoint, you're covered. Not only are you creating tickets, estimates, invoices, you can actually bill your customer and receive payments straight from within Syncro. So it's really allowing you to possibly get rid of several tools and use one. So not only is it streamlining your process as far as like saving you time, but it's probably saving you money as well. As I continue to scroll down, you'll see that since we are a combined RMM, you can be on the customer record screen and see the assets that have agents deployed on this customer. So the other thing that is just one of my favorite things. Anytime you see this little magnifying glass, you can click it. You can launch into a remote control session from here. We have Splashtop built right in, which would be your remote access, but we also have what we call backgrounding tools, but it is Syncro Live. And this is our proprietary built-in remote session tool. But what I like to show here, and this is kind of one way that maybe we can tie in, oh, I'm not logged in on this machine yet. So maybe I'll hop into a different one here. I want to show you this because it's really neat. But this is kind of one way that I like to link maybe the thought process of like how you combine like your ticketing system here with outsourcing. So one of the things that I like to show here is if you're in a remote desktop connection, within Syncro, you can have a little system tray icon for your customers, and they can actually create tickets for you. So you're not having to pick up the phone, you're not having, they can email you, of course, but they can do it straight from their desktop. So whether, maybe it's a support request, this is customizable. So they could be creating tickets, which based upon my understanding of the integration, like this can streamline. And even if it's like, as you can see in the system tray icon, maybe it's an emergency ticket or possibly like an after hours ticket, you could give them an option so that it could funnel into an entirely different flow. And so this is really the power here of having that combined RMM and PSA, where you can install an agent and your customers can create a ticket for you directly from that system tray. In addition to that, your customers can start a chat with you. So you can even create tickets from this chat. So there is just a ton of functionality here that I'm kind of going to be speeding through, but it's worth just showing. The other thing that's really neat is that from this asset here, I can create a ticket straight from here. You can see you can do a ton of other things here too, but I can create a ticket super quick. I've set it up that I really only have to fill out 3 fields. So there's really only 3 required fields. This is customizable as well. But from here, I can just go ahead, I can create a ticket. As you can see, my asset's already attached to the ticket. So again, just finding ways to make your life a little bit easier, getting this ticket created here. You can see, of course, you can track time, but again, like, this is, you're probably pretty used to tracking time within a ticket, that sort of thing. So the highlights here, you obviously can communicate with your customer, but from here, you have that quick view again. So like from a ticket, you can be, launching into a remote control session, running a script while you're making notes, that sort of thing. So it's just trying to keep everything right in one area. So you're not having to switch screens, log in and out of something. So it's really helpful there. If you are a Syncro customer, you've probably heard that we have, launched policy inheritance. We've started rolling that out as of today. So we've revamped like how our policies are built. And so what's really, really incredible about that, if I go to a base package, you can just see you have incredible visibility over your machines. You can tell like on any policy, what am I actually monitoring on policies? So we even have this policy overview. You can quickly scroll through and see exactly what you're monitoring on that machine at any time. So this is, if you're a Syncro customer, you'll know like how big this is and how awesome it is. And those of you that are seeing Syncro for the first time, I'll just show you maybe from, let's see, what view do I want to show this from? Maybe from a customer where it's just such an incredible way to manage your assets. So if you have assets and policies, so we have a folder system now. So you can actually like drag and drop machines into different folders. You have like your high level policy, and then you can add additional policies under, different folders and things like that. So again, just the ability to visibly see what's being monitored, be able to quickly grab a desktop and throw it into a different folder. So not only is it ease of use, but visibility. And so again, all of this is happening from the customer detail record. So thinking about your MSP business and thinking about how you can, manage all of your assets, manage all of your tickets and customers in a really streamlined way. is what we're working on doing, just enabling IT professionals to just do their best work. So I think the last thing that I will leave you with, because again, I like showing things that I think are really, really helpful for MSPs. I'm just going to hop over to this assets and RMM screen. So again, click of a button, I go from a customer detail record to now I'm in all of my assets. So I want to just show automated remediation. This is allowing you to really utilize the entire, like the full power of the platform. So I'll just create a new one just so you can kind of see the highlights here, but I'm going to go ahead and add a condition. So let's just say, so this is a way to automate if an alert comes in from the RMM, what do you find that you're doing every day, like all the time? So it's essentially like, how could I automate all of these individual tasks that I'm doing? So I like this basic example of, let's say the trigger category, you have options is not or contains. And you can say like, all right, if the agent, if it goes offline, right? Depending on the type of operating system, like maybe, maybe it's like, hey, I really only want to know about this if it's like all of my servers. If a server goes offline, I want all of the bells and whistles to go off. So whether it's like converting it to a ticket right away, you can predefine all of these fields, which, as you know, saves you a ton of time. But then you can have it, email a technician, let the customer know. You could have it post to Slack, send a text message, literally, like I said, all the bells and whistles go off. I need to know about this thing. So again, just having a platform that's flexible to really manage exactly what your day-to-day is. And when there's a chance to automate it, even better. So I think like this is, again, I try to keep like a super high level, like hit some of the main topics in amount of like 5 to 10 minutes. And so, like I said, if this was like super fast and you want to learn more, I can put my email into the chat box. And if you have any questions or you want to do like a one-on-one, I think that would be awesome. But I think what's really important here is if you head to the App Center, just for the sake of today, we have some awesome partners with us today. Like at any time, like you're gonna find our integrations in our App Center. So if you just hop over here, you'll be able to find it in our App Center. So I am super excited about this integration, and I'm super excited to hear more about GMS Live because again, it's a really important integration, and it definitely aligns with, for Syncro, what we're trying to do is really enable our MSPs to, again, do your best work, streamline your processes, and have an amazing work-life balance. So from here, I would like to hand it right on over to GMS Live. I will be monitoring, just so everyone knows, I will be monitoring the Q&A. So if you do have any questions as we're going, please just throw them in the Q&A. I'll kind of monitor those. And if there's something kind of on topic, Randy, you can let me know if you want me to interject and let you know if there's a question, but otherwise we will save time at the end for a Q&A. But with that said, I will go ahead. I'm going to share my screen again with that deck, and I'll go ahead and present and hand it on over.
Good stuff. Thank you, Crystal. That was awesome. We got to get into your App Center there. I didn't see our name.
I think I just didn't scroll down far enough.
Okay. We got to get to the top of the App Center.
I was thinking the same thing, Danny.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name is Daniel Pseki again, VP of Sales here at GMS. For those that don't know us, just a quick background on GMS and who we are. We are now a 21-year-old organization. So I've been doing this for quite some time, and some recent exciting news. We got acquired by ShareWeb about 6 months ago, a cloud distributor, and our partners now have access to thoroughly vetted cloud solutions. We have partner programs that help and assist MSPs in selling cloud solutions. We have proprietary software, for example, Office Protect, that helps MSPs protect cloud solutions like M365 Tenant, and services that can be layered on top of that, from pro services and pre-sale support to help desk and NOC services, which is why we're here today. From a help desk standpoint, we provide phone support, live chat support, ticket and email-based support. We integrate with Syncro, as Krista mentioned, and very excited about that. From a NOC standpoint, we basically monitor and manage anything with an IP address, workstations, routers, switches, network printers, and servers. Our team is 100% North American based, and we have an exceptional reputation. I can draw a line. There's a direct correlation between our reputation and the performance of our team. Last year, for example, we saw over 500,000 tickets come into our service desk, and we had a first touch resolution of 93%. On the next slide, who does this? Our techs, we're actually over 80 now. They come to you quite armed from a skill set standpoint. We mandate that each tech takes a couple certification courses per year. And as a result, they carry on average 13 certs, CompTIA A+, MCSC, CCNA, and the list goes on. And I'll hand it off to Randy right now, who will delve into the how we do it and things of that nature.
Thanks, Danny, much appreciated. So on this next slide, we can take a look at really what we're trying to accomplish here is to kind of outline how we can help you reevaluate your time, understand where the help desk might fit into your world, because a lot of times you get inundated with ticket requests, and a lot of times there too you don't have enough staff to be able to handle it. And as you can appreciate, you're focusing in on wearing multiple hats, obviously. Inconsistency in trying to be able to, it's kind of like trying to be this everything to everybody. And really your lack of focus makes you feel like you're really not doing enough and you get burnt out. How do I handle this? Oh, I got to handle that. Oh, wait, this just came in. There's a lot to juggle. And a lot of time you get a lot of resources that you're paying level 3 money to and are doing level 1 and level 2 work. And that's not good because they don't feel like they're getting value. And they'll start looking for other opportunities. If you have help desk staff or level 3 technicians, they're going to look elsewhere because they don't feel like they should be answering level 1, level 2 calls, which is a tough thing. But you're trying to be everything to everybody. And believe it or not, about 80% of your workload can be outsourced or automated, and that's realistic. You can actually be a one-man band and outsource your NOC and your help desk, so all your reactive and proactive work is being taken care of remotely and by a strategic North American business partner like GMS, which allows you to be, as the MSP, to go out and search for new business and do site assessments and all the things that help you grow your business. You're not really stuck underneath the desk. You're over the desk. And that's a very important thing, especially in today's world. When you think about the situation, COVID-19 didn't do a lot of favors from an unemployment standpoint because a lot of technicians nowadays have been poached into bigger companies, and that leaves the pool of talent to be a little bit diluted. Here at GMS, we're fortunate. We have a nice pool of folks, and we continue to have strength in our hiring process. We can move to the next slide. Here's where we stand out. What is this? What are we in comparison to our competition? Well, as Danny mentioned, 100% North American based. We don't outsource to any other countries. It all stays here within Canada. And we do have some agents or what we call frontline mentors down in the States for ITAR and CJIS certifications. Very, very heavily driven on the process and metrics that we use. We have to know what our volume looks like, hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly. That's important. It's the only way we can measure our SLOs, which is our service level objectives. We've been mature in this space. We've been doing it, as Danny mentioned, for 21 years. GMS has actually been around for 22, 21 forward within the MSP and e-learning space. PSA agnostic, which is a great situation to be in. And when we say dedicated account management team, we're talking about, and this is something I'm very proud of. Here at GMS, we have myself as Director of Business Development. I own the relationship with my MSPs, and I've been sitting in this chair for almost 8 years now. What's nice for me is to be able to say, look, you've got me through the entire partnership. I'm not going anywhere. If you need me, come, rain or shine, I'm there. But I have a team of people that work for me, that work on onboarding, work on daily account management. That's extremely important because they're good at what they do. And you have the best of the best working on your account. You've got me from a contractual standpoint. So there's so much that goes into this and how we do it. Next slide. Now, the question is always, do you build it or do you buy it? And I can tell you that, and I talk to, if I had to try and figure out how many MSPs a year I talk to, I don't think I have enough fingers and toes. But at the end of the day, we The way I look at it is, and I said this previously, do you want to be stuck under the desk or over the desk? We ride the peaks and valleys of growth. And sometimes you might have months or a month where it's really slow. And sometimes you have months where it's busier and it's heavier. We basically look at averages and we know exactly what our volume should look like hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly. Hence, we're not, we're immune to the spikes in activity. So you don't have folks sitting around waiting for the phone to ring. Our phones are always ringing. Our chats are always going off. We basically help the MSP align costs directly to revenue growth. And really what you're trying to do as an MSP, and we all know this, is you're trying to grow the business. You want to get more business in there. Well, you don't want to be stuck having to, here's the thing I look at too. You're working to try and secure an opportunity and you've got a client, you want to go talk to them and you have the whole meeting set up and all of a sudden there's one of your customers has a massive problem and you have to get in there. Well, with a help desk and a knock solution behind you, they're taking care of all that, freeing you up to actually have that meeting with that prospective partner and outlining your services and doing your site assessments and all the things that you try to sell basically your services on while we work in the background for you. MSPs can basically focus their team on billable hours. So, hey, take your level 3 tech, let them actually do some level 3 work. You let them build out the servers and the infrastructure, not worry about those level 1 and level 2 opportunities. And listen, at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you. And really what that does is focus your team on things that they really want to do. So you're going to retain your staff because they're not going to look elsewhere because they're not satisfied in the work that they're doing. They're very happy with the work that they're doing, and they'll stay with you a lot longer. We have something on our website, and it's really very cool. It's our true cost calculator. It's gmslivexpert.com/calculator. And basically what it is it's an online calculator where you can put in your cost per employee and vacations and sick days and insurance, workspace, and it's got an algorithm. It'll kick out what the burden cost for that employee is. When you can put that up against our numbers, you can see how much more value you get for outsourcing. And the thing that a lot of MSPs sometimes don't realize is, let's just use a rough number. Let's say $60,000 a year for a full-time help desk employee. Well, that's one employee giving you 6.5 to maybe 7 hours worth of work a day. That could take one call at a time, maybe two calls an hour if they're lucky. Well, for that same cost, probably significantly less than that, you have 5 to 7, even 10 frontline help GMS mentors doing the work for you. So you can take multiple calls. You don't have to worry about those factors. It makes such a big difference. It's unbelievable when you know you're freed up. And how about the opportunities that you might be turning away because you think to yourself, I'd love to do that. I'd love to be able to take that business, but I don't have the background and the people in the background to do it for me. Well, GMS you do, and you're paying a bill at the end of the month. Next slide. This is how we help simplify our partners' lives. Our help desk, again, 24/7, 365, fully North American. Average speed of answer sit about 60 seconds. Chat is instantaneous. You're talking 15 to 20 seconds on the chat. And it's a branded chat, by the way. So it's got your colors, logos, whole look and feel of your company. You can choose what you want us to cover. If you want us to do after hours, evenings, and weekends, we can do that. If you want us to be your 24/7, 365 North American support, no problem. And the way our pricing structure is designed, it's more or less working on a utilization component. The less you use us, the less you pay. The more you use us, the more. So it's more of a consumption-based solution. Again, we cover all devices and apps. So at the end of the day, I'm not telling you, I can only cover this workstation. I will cover their workstation, their desktop, their laptop, their mobile device. So, maybe Sally or Tony Payroll has a problem. Well, I'm not going to limit them to why they're calling. If they have a problem with their mobile device, we'll help them out. Bidirectional PSA integration, which is fantastic. So our system works with Syncro. It's a bidirectional piece of middleware. It's a connector that basically allows us to move our information from our ticketing system into Syncro and back around 30 seconds to a minute for all that data to get captured and moved back and forth. So realistically, at the end of the day, it looks like I'm working in your Syncro and I'm in my system. We use IT Glue. So you have all your documentation stored within IT Glue, and we use Glue Connect, and we've got your documentation real time at our fingertips. And it's a complete knowledge share, and you don't have to worry about uploading and downloading documentation. It all sits where it needs to be in IT Glue. And when we talk about our mentor pods, what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen, is we give you a primary team of people, not a dedicated, because that would mean they only work for you, but it's a primary team of people. So generally it depends on your volume, but you can say between 5 to 7 frontline mentors. And so your customers get comfortable with talking to the same folks over and over again. Builds that level of familiarity and comfort, and makes it much more intimate. Danny, it's out of curiosity, is there any questions that we have online that we can answer?
Yes. Just reviewing. So Ed Velez mentioned, can we get a copy of the few slides? Depending, it's a pretty large deck. So depending on the slides you want, we can kind of send that to you. We've got a question for Crystal. And I think, let me preface it with the fact I heard some news. Syncro either merged or acquired a company. So someone's asking, Adam LaBelle's asking about Mac OS support. If that's evolved. Do you want to speak to that, Crystal?
Yeah. Hey, Adam. So yeah, we have acquired Watchman Monitoring, and they are absolutely stand out in the Mac community. And so we are currently working on building out a lot of that monitoring and functionality within Syncro, and it will be free to all of our Syncro customers. So that's really, really exciting. We have done a lot to our Mac agent that we have right now. We're looking to launch Mac remote control here really, really soon. So yeah, Adam, a lot of really awesome things on the way for Mac OS support.
Good stuff. And I think I'll take one from Brian Ankaro. He wanted us to talk about how well we support healthcare clients. So one, we're HIPAA compliant. And two, we have our MSP partners cover a wide variety of different organizations that belong to different verticals, healthcare being one of them. So we absolutely support healthcare clients 24/7, 365. And again, we're HIPAA compliant. We can sign a BAA agreement as well. In terms of specific healthcare line of business apps, we would work with you to get our documentation populated with intelligence, and then we can work off of that.
Awesome. Yeah, and I can add to that too. I mean, everything Randy just said, Syncro offers the same thing. So if you're using our tools in conjunction, you're covered and good to go. I was going to grab two. Sherilyn wants to know, how is the ticketing system within Syncro different from other solutions such as Zendesk? So great question. High level, I could probably talk for a really long time about this, but the Syncro ticketing system was specifically built for MSPs, with MSP in mind, and the way that it's like seamlessly combined with our RMM, the functionality there from asset management within the ticket. That's kind of sets us aside from something like a Zendesk, but happy to discuss that a little bit further. Joseph, yes, we'll work with Sophos. We definitely are hearing that, wanting to look, continue to look into that. It's not on the roadmap as of today.
Perfect. Randy, you want to go along, and then we'll grab some more questions later on.
Absolutely, you got it. All right, on to the next slide we go, guys. All right, so our 24/7 customizable NOC is very, very cool, because what we are is, again, 100% North American based, and we look after workstations, servers, we do network monitoring, we have advanced patching, which is really cool. And basically, we roll those patches out a few weeks later. We use a third-party tool in order to do that, and we guarantee all the patches that we roll out. If one does happen to fail, we will then fix it. So it is not incumbent on the MSP to actually have to worry about that. We take care of it when we do our monitoring, and we allow the technology to do what it's supposed to be doing, and we have specific thresholds, and it's great. It's a really advanced system, and I'm sure you're going to love it. So we can talk further about that. Again, bidirectional PSA integration along with IT glue. So all the documentation is stored where it's supposed to, and we update your Syncro. So a ticket comes in, it hits a threshold, we start working it, open up a ticket, it pops over to Syncro. You guys see what we're doing every step of the way. And once the ticket's closed and it appears on your service board, you will see what we did. And it's followed by reports. And it's a great system. So yeah, 24/7 customizable NOC.
Awesome.
Hey, and the next
Randy.
slide.
Oh, good.
Sure.
I was just,
Go ahead, Crystal.
sorry to talk over. I just was going to bring this up. There's a few questions that just around IT glue, wanting to know, it's asking if it's a requirement that you have IT glue.
Yeah, for GMS, it's a requirement. And the reason simply it is because we need to have consistency and our frontline mentors have to be rowing the boat in the same direction. And we can't be looking at 15 different repositories to try and find an answer to a question. We need to be as efficient as we can. And with IT Glue being the only bi-directional repository out there now, it just makes the call interaction with the customer that much smoother. So yes, it is a requirement to actually have IT Glue for using GMS services.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, I'll go to the next one.
Cool. All right, our dedicated quality assurance team. Really what we're here to do is make sure that if there's a problem, we cover it. You see, the one thing in the 8 years that I've been sitting here, I have to tell you, it's fantastic to have a team that's dedicated to quality. I will tell you, our quality is 99.6% accuracy. That's a 0.04% score. That's pretty darn good when you think about it. But at the end of the day, there are things that can happen. And maybe a ticket you don't think was handled properly. And you can send it to quality and we do an investigation between 24 to 48 hours to see what happened. And was that a GMS related issue? If it is, there's ways that we handle that with training and monitoring. If it's the end user who said something happened, but maybe didn't happen the way they said that it did, and you know as well as anybody out there, folks, that happens all the time. And maybe it is an issue with the MSP who didn't give us info that we were looking for. But we get down to the bottom of it. We let you know there's never any finger pointing, and all we're there to do is make sure that we get that interaction as smooth as possible. We obviously record all of our phone calls, archive those up to 30 days to make sure that if there's an issue, we can pull that call clip and we review the tickets. All the chats that we do are inputted inside the tickets as well. So yeah, there's a lot of QA that goes into this to make sure that this is done properly. And the beauty is having a dedicated primary team of people and having our customer service team. There's always somebody to go to, and ultimately you always have me. So Crystal, we can move on to the next one. So here's how it works. The integration is fantastic. As we are 24/7, 365, basically you open up a ticket within your Syncro, that ticket will be captured and put into our ticketing system. That's bi-directional communication. You can do it via phone, live chat, or email support. My preference is live chat, and our chat is a proprietary chat that was developed 21 years ago. It's very slick. All you need to do is it's a system fright icon, the right mouse click on. The end user can do that and chat now. They can make it a desktop icon. Heck, man, they can make it a favorite in their browser bar. But what's great about it is the average speed of answer is sitting between 20 to 30 seconds. And it's got the colors and logos of your company. So it's really customizable for you. And then we can work through, obviously, phones, email support. Everything's reported back and forth. And because the bidirectionality in the ticketing systems allows you to see exactly what we're doing step by step by step. So it's not like a ticket's open and you're out of the loop. You see everything happening at all times. So it's very, very slick. On the next slide, basically, we're going to talk about the integration and workflow. So again, call, chat, or email comes in, hits Syncro, that the connector will grab that information, populate our service board. We do the work on it, do whatever remediation we need to. We use, the Syncro RMM side of the equation to get into the end user's machine, fix the issues, and then once those issues are fixed, tickets updated and closed, and you got a happy customer at the end. So the integration is key. Integration is always key to make something like a help desk work properly. And what GMS is really good about doing is we're not telling you that you have to use our system. It's a BYOD type of model. You have your tool sets, whatever they happen to be. If it's Syncro that you're looking at, fantastic. Whatever your tools are, we connect to your tools. We do our work. We disconnect. You maintain your entire environment. You don't have to connect it, or there's nothing we're making you use on our end. Everything stays with you. Okay, Crystal, we can move to the next one. So flexible solutions, right? This is why our partners really, really love us. Here we go. Help desk, 24/7, 365. As mentioned, all your devices, deploy us where you need us. If you want us after hours, evenings, weekends, no problem. You want us for specific clients, hey, we're good. We've got knock services. So again, doing all your, think about help desk is reactive to the end user with a problem. Pick up the phone, chat, email, fix the issue. Knock is being proactive. Let's get ahead of that call before it actually happens. Let's monitor the servers, the workstations, the network devices. And if they alarm, let's get in there, proactively fix the issues, get the problems done, open and close tickets, finished. If you want to have a dedicated full-time employee, we have that model as well for business hours coverage. They can take care of projects, deployments. So you can actually have a full-time employee that is dedicated solely to your company. We cover the bill, obviously you cover ours, and that person works specifically for you. And I have a few partners that actually employ this model. And again, the entire team is fully 100% North American. So at the end of the day, you can do a ticket model, you can do a per user model, or if you want, you can take a full-time employee model. There's many different ways to skin this business. We understand that it's, everybody's needs are different, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we have you covered. And really, if you want to get in touch with us, pretty simple to do so. You can send an email to sales@globalmentoring.com and we'll get back to you immediately. Danny will tell you we're very, very quick at getting back. If you want to give us a call with touch tones, 443-960-8989 if you're in the United States. If you're in the Great White North where we are at 905-286-3801. If you want to get in touch with us and find out more about our services and how we do what we do and our integrations with Syncro. So with that, if there are any questions out there, Danny, I'll punt it back to you to fire off some questions.
Yeah, there are a ton of questions. So I think we have a few minutes to cover them. And I'll just kind of pick off at a few here. I think Mike Jones is asking, can you guys replace my ConnectWise command for server as well? The answer is 100%. We, as we mentioned earlier, provide NOC services so we can monitor, remediate, and patch workstations and servers 24/7, 365. So answer is yes. Crystal, do you want to grab a couple in there?
Yes. Okay. I love all of the questions here. I'm trying to search through to make sure I'm answering the ones that are Syncro specific.
Do you want me to go and while you find a few and then I'll pass it back to you?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, there's a lot of them in here.
Absolutely. So Peter, I'll just start from the top. Peter mentioned PSA agnostic. What if we use a combination of different products, some in-house developed SQL apps? We have an open API, so we can do an email connector that'll feed ticket information to your solution. So just give us a call or send us an email and we can kind of delve into that in greater detail. Anonymous asked, which PSAs does the middleware HDC work with? So the latest PSA is Syncro, but we also work with others, Autotask, ConnectWise, BMS from Kaseya. And then I think Pietra, so do you replace Syncro RMM with yours, Kaseya? I'm not sure. I think that one's for you, Crystal.
Yeah, so no, I don't believe even the integration would not replace the RMM. In fact, I think that's kind of how alerts would be creating tickets and kind of collaborating with GMS, yeah. But no, it wouldn't replace the Syncro RMM.
Yeah. Pricing structure. So I think that would be both, but I'll go first. As Randy just mentioned, we're very flexible. From a help desk standpoint, we have per seat or per ticket. From a NOC standpoint, it is per device. And to kind of delve into that in greater detail, from a help desk standpoint, we charge $28 per seat per month. So a seat is simply a named individual that you onboard with us. So Randy would be considered a seat, Crystal, Danny. And if you onboarded, for example, 100 seats spread across however many organizations, your cost to us for 24/7, 365 help desk services would be $2,800. We also have per ticket option, which is ideal for folks that are leveraging our services on an after hours and weekends only basis. It is $60 per ticket per month. And a ticket is simply a phone call, live chat session, or emailed support request, or PSA, for example, Syncro. A ticket request via Syncro would be considered a ticket.
Awesome. Yeah. And on the Syncro side too, if anyone was curious if it was a pricing question regarding Syncro, you can choose whether you're paying monthly or annually. We charge per technician with unlimited endpoints. And so it is, if you pay monthly, it's $129 per technician per month, unlimited endpoints. And then if you pay annually, you do save a little bit off the top. You do have to pay up front, but it calculates to $119 a month per technician. So pretty transparent, straightforward pricing there. A couple other that I will grab that I believe are for me. Nathan's wanting to know where we're at with Linux support and, full Mac support. I believe that's for me. I will say we're really close to the full Mac support. Linux is not on the roadmap at this point, but yeah, we have full support for servers and workstations. Windows, full Mac is on the way. Linux is not on the roadmap at this time. The other one I'll grab real quick, Danny, before you take on over again, is there was one from, yes, Sherilyn, does Syncro billing integrate with QuickBooks? Absolutely, we do. We integrate with both QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Desktop. They have a little bit of a different, there's a couple different functionality, but essentially the key points are any invoice that is created, edited, or marked paid on the Syncro side that will sync to QuickBooks. QuickBooks Online offers an additional sync where if you do receive payment on the QuickBooks side, it will sync backwards into Syncro and mark that invoice paid. So it's a fantastic integration.
Good stuff. Question from Peter. Do you also offer tech call services? For example, a unique phone number our customers call and you answer with our name. That is what we do. So we will provision the localized DID for you based on where you live. And actually a couple options. You can either send that number directly to your customers. They call in, we answer with your company name, or you can embed it within your IVR, your phone system, and it'll route, prompting users to hit an extension and it'll route to that number. And of course, we'll answer the phone, Peter, MSP doc. This is Danny speaking, for example. So 100%. Kelly asked if we can send a PDF with our help desk structure. Absolutely, we will do that. Can you elaborate on the chat feature if it's using Syncro chat? No, we have our own chat system because that ties into our texts that have been assigned to your account. So we will, it doesn't leverage Syncro's chat, unfortunately.
Okay,
So,
okay, I was just I was looking at a few, once again, I'm not sure exactly, because I think this could go to either one of us. Do you guys have some additional MSP pricing models that have worked well with your service? So I think we kind of talked through the pricing models as far as what GMS offers. And so I'm assuming that's what that question is for. And then I'm sorry if I missed it. Did you guys mention GMS support of Mac OS?
We didn't, but we 100% do support Mac clients, as it's obviously gained speed in the labor market, and lots of I currently use a Mac, and once in a while, I'm not the most tech savvy guys. I call our network engineers and they help me out. So yes, we support Mac level 1, level 2 support in terms of from a help desk standpoint. Absolutely.
I love it. There's a couple cool questions in here. One from Peter, is it possible to use our Syncro agent icon to call the GMS chat app so users only have to use one icon on the taskbar? So I'll just answer from my side if there is a different response. So our agent contact, our agent icon, you can have either, if it's sending them to a URL, you can totally customize what is in that system tray. So I believe you could probably construct a way for that to work, I would imagine.
I see there's a lot of IT glue questions here, and I'll just try to wrap everything up in one comment. So Riley mentioned that he would consider using something else. Kaseya forces everyone to sign a 3-year agreement. With regards to IT Glue, they don't do that. So it's actually a month-to-month commitment. IT Glue was acquired by Kaseya, but IT Glue is rooted in Canada as well. They, I think, run as a separate business unit. So they don't, I don't work for IT Glue. I don't make money off of IT Glue. What we've done here at GMS is vetted all the major documentation apps out there, and we chose IT Glue to standardize on, namely for technology reasons. They're best in class. They have a feature that we leverage called Glue Connect that marries our IT Glue to your IT Glue. No other documentation app out there does that. When they do, we will use any and all of them. So that's basically our stance on IT Glue in that regard.
Awesome. Thank you. There is a few questions in here. I'm not sure if you want to tackle them just in regards to a couple of your competitors. One being the Avik knock, and then I think Mission Control was the other question there.
Yes. So Avik is not a competitor. Avik is a network monitoring software. So you would have to use Avik. We do the same thing. We can monitor routers, switches, and other network devices, and we can actually leverage Avik, but Avik doesn't provide a NOC service, if you will. Mission Control, they are an up-and-comer in terms of help desk and NOC services. We've been doing this for 20 plus years. So, I mean, take that for what you will. What separates us from the likes, a lot of our competition is just numbers. We have a first touch resolution of 93%. No one else comes close to that. The reason for that is us being just huge proponents of documentation. We are as good as the documentation our MSP partners provide. So that's, again, what separates us from a lot of our competitors. They don't rely on documentation on as much as we do. We have thorough onboarding. We have techs that come to you quite qualified. They're heavily vetted. We have flexible pricing. We have a flexible offering, so you can leverage our services 24/7 or after hours and weekends. Overflow tickets you can send our way, business hours only. So that's sort of some of the distinctive advantages we have over a number of our competitors.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. And I will grab this one from Dan. He says, for help desk pricing, so I'm assuming the Syncro pricing, can this decrease without penalty when customer terminates an employee? Yeah, there's no penalty. You can decrease your license count or increase it whenever you want. You are not locked in or out. There's quite a few functionality style questions. Do you want me to fire any of those off, or
functionality questions? How many more?
What's that?
I don't see those.
Maybe I'm looking at, how do you guys handle user security passwords, two-factor authentication issues? I don't know if that's for me. I don't know if that's for Syncro or GMS.
Yeah, so our entire team uses two-factor. We've standardized on one login, for example. So that's like we've just and I want to say off the record, but it's not off the record, but we've worked with the Department of Defense, for example, just through a channel partner of ours. So we've been thoroughly vetted from a security standpoint, but we also adopt our MSPs. If you have sort of a standard operating procedure in place, we have ours as well. We'll bring ours to the table, you bring yours to the table, and we'll see how to marry both. But we do have systems in place from a security standpoint that our entire team sort of piggybacks off of.
Awesome. Do you guys have a minimum account size? Do you have minimums?
No. Well, we do have a minimum, which is, it works out to about a $500 spend monthly, and equates to just rough math, about 21 users per month or 8 tickets per month. In terms of client size, there really isn't a minimum, as long as you meet that sort of $500 per month minimum spend. So
Awesome. And I answered Dan's question, but it was definitely for you. So it was asking the help desk, being able to decrease the license count without fees.
yes, yes, there's no sort of cancellation fee, if that's what the question is. Also, in terms of onboarding fees, I think Dan is asking that as well. There's a one-time fee. It depends on how many clients you onboard with us. So if you're starting with 5 clients or less, it's a one-time fee of $795. And then we've got pricing all the way to 25 plus, which is 2,500. Again, this is a one-time fee. It just sort of compensates us for, there's a lot of heavy lifting that comes into play when we onboard an MSP for the first time. So we need a week, for example, to set up your phone lines. We need a week to set up your live chat. We need a couple of weeks to review your IT glue documentation. We'll work hand in glove with you to get it set up so that we can be set up for success. And then we need a week to marry our PSA to your Syncro, for example, so that ticket information is flowing back and forth. And that takes about 30 to 45 days. And that's what the setup fee sort of covers. Any net new customer you onboard with us, beyond the first set, there are 0 setup fees included.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I feel like maybe let's grab just one more, and then you can hop off the hot seat here. But there's several questions just in regards to like the you mentioned ShareWeb. So I think there's some questions. I don't know if you want to grab those.
Yeah, I see. As an MSP, that's a ShareWeb partner. That's by Kazuma Sato and GMS being acquired by ShareWeb. Are there any enhancements to the service we provide? 100%. That's why the sort of marriage or acquisition is something we're very, very excited about. In terms of the enhancement, is just something stuff we had on our roadmap is being accelerated due to the acquisition by ShareWeb. As most of the folks, if you've heard of ShareWeb, has seen some rapid growth as well. GMS, we mentioned at the start, we went from 30 to over 100 employees in 3 to 4 years. ShareWeb went from 400 to over 1,200 in that same time. So, and that's all due to our MSP partners taking advantage of the acceleration and from a digital transformation standpoint, folks are adopting technology at breakneck speed. So we're investing the revenue being generated as a result into accelerating our roadmap. We're enhancing our chat, for example. We're hiring more and more engineers at a much faster clip, because a lot of MSPs are dealing with labor shortage as a result of what's happened in the last 18 months. So we're helping out in that regard. So a lot of our partners are seeing the benefits of the recent acquisition.
That is amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and wrap. And what I wanted to do, I will just say that I have been recording this session. A couple of our attendees have been asking, so we will email out the recording as well as post to our YouTube channel as well. I'm going to go ahead and drop. I know GMS has given contact information and phone numbers. I'll go ahead and put my email address in there. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And again, if you need to catch this later, the recording will be available. But I want to say thank you so much for everyone at GMS for joining today. We're super excited about this integration, super happy to be working with such amazing partners. So thank you so much for sharing your time with us today.
Yeah,
thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal, and thank you to all of those who attended. It was our pleasure. tons of fantastic questions. I will go back to the script and we will answer all these questions one at a time. I love all the questions. Dudley, like, yes, we're talking to Hoodoo as well. So yes, I want to stay on and like answer all these questions, but we will answer all of them via email. So because we're running out of time here. But thank you all. Hope everyone found this session informative. I did from hearing you, Crystal. So cheers.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for spending this time with us, and hopefully talk and see you all soon. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye.